Remember when they hate, didn't think we make it. Now they break their neck just to look at me. Remember when I called you, and you didn't fall through. Now you hate yourself and look at me, look at me. You made me.
And what up? What's good with y'all? Alright, so what are we getting into today? One second. Alright, so today I got something pretty fun lined up. I'm gonna be taking you guys with me. Today we're about to be going out to Santa Rosa. We're about to be linking up with my boy Jason. Jason has this crazy 2JZ wagon, and today we're about to be doing a little review and a ride along in it. I've been wanting to ride in this car for a long time. Me and Jason have the same tuner, same engine builders, and it gives me a good idea on kind of what my 2JZ on my SC is gonna be like, even though, you know what I'm saying, my 2JZ and the SC is gonna make a little bit more power than Jason's, but I think it's gonna be closely paired up to the 2JZ that I'm gonna be putting in the 4Ride. But I wanna say Jason is somewhere in between both those cars. I think he's gonna make more, I think he makes more power than the 4Ride, but he'll probably make a little bit less than the 2JZ SC300. But I'm not sure. I think he changed his turbo and everything now, so I'm not even sure how much he makes right now. He probably makes 4 digits. I don't know, but I know it's fast. I've been hearing the stories and the rumors on it because I talked to him here and there, but my tuner tells me about the car and all the logs and runs it had on it. So today we're going out there, we're gonna be checking out that car and we'll be getting a ride of it. So I'm looking forward to this. I know you guys are gonna like this, but we're gonna be taking the G today. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be taking the G so I can roll out there with the slap slapping, the subs hitting, all that good stuff. Yeah, feel me? Where the hell did my steering wheel get this low? What the heck? I didn't lower that thing. Y'all can see this thing's all fogged up, so it is cold. Let's get these windows defrosted.
Got the Akabonos on there?
Yeah, street car. What's cracking with you, boy? It's not too bad. Nice little daily.
Yeah, it's cool. I like this color too.
It's clean OEM paint. I just gotta pull that PPF stuff off. I had to swap the stock intake back on.
How come?
The other one was leaking internally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Sucks.
Yeah. So it's good though. It'll clean.
I mean, they're gonna one chance send me another one, so I'm gonna finish up the tune and everything. It'll be a good comparison between a ported intake and that aftermarket one.
Before and after.
Yeah, but this is a ported though.
Is it a stock pump?
Yep, it runs all VQ accessories.
Oh, that's cool.
So alternator, power steering, and AC.
Yeah, that's the move. That way you don't have to deal with any like adapters and shit.
Hope everything works.
That would clean. Oil filter right there. AC?
Yeah, works.
Oh, yeah.
The wire needs to be extended and it just needs to be recharged. That's it.
Cool.
How
Jason,
are you?
what's good, man? How you been?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. So what turbo's on this thing? You said you switched it.
G42 1200C.
Oh, that's the exact turbo I got on my SC now.
Right.
Why you trying to copy me, man?
I think you might be copying me.
Nah, I had it already.
No, I had it already.
No, I had it. I had it like forever ago.
No, we actually had two different options, and this was just one of them, and I threw it in and said, oh, works pretty well. So that's what we got.
All right, so here it is, this beauty. You guys have seen this on the channel before. Kind of talked about it during passing, but today we get to finally jump in this thing, take it for a nice little drive. This thing's sick. This thing's been running for hell of years too.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, it's been worked on over the time. It's not like it's been together, but
You ain't blew a motor up.
I did one a long time ago, but then it's just been wear and tear. The valves actually wore out. So I slowly got lower compression and put that back together. But you know how it always is. Well, while that's out,
Might as well do this. Might as well, yeah.
you know, the bigger turbo's going in, and that was a whole, you know, performance there. So yeah, it's just up and running now. I haven't really had a lot of time to dial it in, honestly, and still trying to figure out like shift points. On the old turbo, it kind of ran out of steam, like at like about $8,000, something like that. And this one pulls
all the way,
much beyond, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still getting used to that, and also just like, you know, where that line for traction is.
Yeah, you're on Archer plates right now.
Yeah, and they're not. These aren't like, these are like brand new ones, and these are new but not new. They're new tires, but they're like, they were done in like 22, I think. So I'm like, oh, a little older than I thought. I think these are even older than that. I got a new
Big stop text all the way around. At least the stop's good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's got everything it needs to do pretty well, actually.
Well, I've always liked this car. It's a good looking car. It's different.
Let me pop the hood.
Yes, sir. Look at the big dads. Yeah, Jason be copying me, man. We got the same engine builder, same tuner. I think he's trying to jack my sauce.
Yeah, you know.
But here it is.
It worked for Mike. It must work for me. So.
Shoot. Yeah, I be telling them like, man, Jason and ALC are the truth.
Well, I mean, I mean,
ALC and Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence is like, if you just listen to what he says, you'll have a good time and you'll have a relatively reliable car. I mean, it's hard to be reliable at, you know, 1,000 horsepower, and this is like, even by Lawrence's standards, he's like, damn, dude, you beat on that thing. And
yeah, he told me you had like a crazy amount of logs on there, like thousands of like pulls on it. So you breaking your car is like, all right, you got well beyond what it should have been.
Right.
How many logs was that? He said it was like, it maxed out the logs on the AM, right?
It literally wore out though. I mean, it wasn't like it broke. It just, and I'm not sure, we had used stock valves that were not even new. They had been cleaned up, and we're not sure how deep the hardening is on the valve edge, and it might have been that we were just in softer metal, and that's why it wore out around the edge of it. So now it has actually, I don't think it's all stock. I think my exhausts are stainless and my intakes are stock, but they're brand new stock, so we should be good for longer.
So technically you still didn't lose the motor, you just lost compression.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, it actually, as things go, it was a minor deal, but then like,
this thing's been together for years though.
these are added. Like this has been cleaned up. I used to have just hose clamps there, so that went on. The intercooler has those on the bottom of it now. Just a couple little things to kind of clean it up, but I don't like this to be showy. As you can see, it's kind of a little rough looking, and I like it that way. I like it to have this kind of used and abused look to it, so I got it.
Hey, it's been working.
Yeah.
Man, this is, how much boost are you running now?
How much what?
How much boost?
I think 32 or 34. I can't remember. I have a adjuster, so I can turn it up and down. Like, I have it on kind of a low setting right now, but I think 34 was the high number, as I recall.
So this is essentially like super similar setup to what my SE is.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have a much better, and this is stock modified. You have an aftermarket, right?
Yeah, I got the big one, and I know the cams I have are like, they're ginormous, probably overkill, but
that's the thing. You have top speed, top output in mind, and this is supposed to be kind of a well-rounded. Yeah,
this will keep your torque curve good. Yeah. Spool's probably not too crazy.
Yeah. It's for the racetrack, not the drag strip, and so I just need to have it linear, as linear as I can on the power band, and I don't really want it on off. Which again, I haven't done a track day with this yet with this new turbo, and we'll see how it works.
Oh yeah, so like I said, look, he got R888s all the way around, so he actually be taking this thing around the course. He don't just be going straight lines, but you know, he'd be dragging people down the highway and stuff. It's pretty sick.
Got a kind of cleaned up interior. I actually haven't cleaned it, but it's kind of cleaned up.
It's a bed, man. Be back here clapping cheeks.
I go to Laguna
gapping
Seca,
people and gapping cheeks.
Go to Laguna Seca, pull there, and just sleep in the back, and then get up in the morning and do a track day.
Drive there, drive it home.
That's the thing to me. Like, if you have to put it on a trailer, it's a race car, and I want a car that's like
Full street car. Like you drove it here.
Yeah, I mean, I drive everywhere. I don't daily it, but I want to be able to drive it wherever I want to and not worry about it. So
It's a full 4-inch?
3.5.
3.5?
Yeah, and it's actually destroyed. It's aluminum.
Oh, so it's all smushed up under there?
Part of the problem was, like, Lawrence actually built it originally as a kind of a, hey, let's try this. And one of the things you have to do with aluminum is you have to make sure that when it expands, it has a place to go. And so the hangers bound the exhaust, and as it heated, it basically like squished itself.
Oh, snap.
So it's already distorted, and then I redesigned the hanger so they're pins that hang, and as it heats up, the whole exhaust can slide backwards. And that's been great, but the damage is already done.
Yeah,
so.
the center section got to be redid.
Yeah. This is a Varix exhaust. It's got a valve in it, and when it's closed, this thing sounds like a, I don't know, my wife doesn't even know I'm coming home, and I put it that way.
The sneak out mode.
Yeah. And the trouble is when it's closed, the exhaust is 1.25 inches, I think.
Oh shit.
So I've had the mistake of like 1, 2, 3, and then
leaving it closed.
no power, and that's been a little interesting. But I have a little button on the back of my steering wheel, and I can just open it and close it like instantly. So it's a nice option to have. You go by somebody getting hot, and you just you're not the fast car then. You're quiet. So
Hey, let's hear this thing.
all right.
And then he's gonna finish your diff today. So I'll hit you up when he's done, and then bring this in and lock that up.
It's good?
Cool, man.
It's not too loud. Out. Out. Could have warned me on that one.
Sorry, dude. Sorry.
Ears like, hey, it's not too loud. Like you, this is open. Prius mode.
I mean,
It gets stupid quiet.
yeah, like, so even if I'm like driving a long ways, just cruise on the freeway, I'll just close it because it's quieter. And
Yeah.
talk to people and stuff, you know, versus
That's how it is on the G. The G has cutouts on it. It gets super quiet too.
it's nice. It's adulting, unfortunately.
Yeah, as you get older,
Yeah,
you
you're
care like, I don't want to be hearing drone on the freeway. I want to be able to talk.
I don't really want my neighbors mad at me all the time. And, you know, this kind of stuff. So it's like, how you do this? But I mean, it works. It's a very simple system because you just literally add the muffler, and it's a wireless remote.
Huh.
So you give it 12 volts and a little controller at the back, and then you have the remote control, and you're set.
What muffler is this?
Huh?
What muffler?
The Varix.
Varix.
REX, yeah. Made in Australia, I think. And yeah, I mean, I just looked at a lot of options out there, and there's some that are similar, but a lot of them are bulkier. When you're doing a custom exhaust, you want a certain shape. You can find that, you know, and this one like fits like a glove. It just fits in there perfectly. I actually recently just dropped it, but again, I don't care. Put a big dent in it now, but this car's supposed to have that kind of like use and abuse look to it, and it does.
It's an actual street and track car though.
Yeah.
You know, it's different between like, all right, it's a track car that goes straight versus like, you know, this thing could possibly fly off track and.
It's a track car that just works enough for the street, and then, you know, freeway if you want it. So, wanna take it for a cruise?
Yeah, let's go, let's go. All right, man, we get to ride in this thing. It's probably like the closest real world experience I get to see, like when it comes to like what my SE is gonna spoil like and feel like. Oh, we got the buckets. Oh, what do you know? They fat boy friendly too for me. All right, we're in here with my man Jason. This thing's pretty sick. He said he made this out of a soda can.
Yeah, it was like a Pellegrino or something, you know, real fancy. That's the VTI gauge. Here's the, my switches are falling apart, but here's my mode
Boost
switch.
modes.
So you can just, so I've had it like 3 or 4 just to kind of figure out where I'm at. And then the other one's for traction control, but Lawrence has not got that figured out yet because I have a 3-wire speed sensor on the front wheels. He says those are hard to get dialed in. He wants me to build a bracket for it too, and then we'll have traction control. So I just got a new rear end. I put it in myself, but
It's two-way?
Hear that clunking?
Is it two-way?
The rear end?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's OS Geiken. Whatever OS Geiken makes, it's a race.
Oh, so it's locked all the time.
Yeah, it makes this, but at like slow speed or on corners, it makes this terrible clunking noise, and apparently that's absolutely normal. So
It's like being like a welded diff, like locked all the time.
yeah, it's a little weird, but it's actually quieter than my old stock one for sure.
It's probably whining.
A lot.
And that's with the cutout closed.
No, that's open.
It's open?
You can't
It's still
do that.
quiet.
It is. That's the thing. I didn't want to have like a major loud.
This thing just sucked my phone out of my pocket. It's gonna be in the back seat somewhere. And dude, it's not too loud at all.
Now, I've tried to do things to make it like reasonable. On the freeway with the old rear end, it was like you're kind of yelling at your buddy, and that's that clunk. It's supposed to get quieter, but we'll see. Now it's like we can reasonably have a conversation. It's still noisy. It isn't like it's a luxury car.
It's not too loud though, like
No.
compared to like
No, it's
a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, it's pleasant enough. It's again, it's for
Like it's not droning.
No, and here's with the closed. So
No, you can just hear road noise,
that's
like
it.
the wheels.
And the R-Trip Radars,
They're not quiet.
because I've only ever had them, but they're not quiet.
Yeah,
you know?
nah.
So I think if I had some like Michelins or something on here, it'd be even quieter.
Yeah, for sure. This thing's it's super quiet. It's smooth too. Minus the diff, but
Yeah.
that comes with the territory. We
Clutch
want to make
is
sure it's
the
locked.
clutch is one thing that's like when I drive it, I'm like, what's weird is with the new diff, that's actually been better. I'm not sure exactly how that's the case, but it is.
Does this thing have a BMW trans or?
Yeah. The M3 trans will go that way.
It does feel grippy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like this thing it's really weird because you find yourself kind of just putzing around at like twice the speed limit, and you don't even think about it because it handles corners so well. It's not really something you think about that much. Like off ramps at 60 is not uncommon, and I just in any other car you wouldn't consider that. You're like, maybe I should slow down. It doesn't even seem weird in this thing. Now when it gets into the rain, like we had rainstorm a couple weekends ago.
Oh yeah.
We were out in this thing in the rain, and that was a little weird. It's a little dangerous.
One thing about R-AAA though is like they don't handle that bad in the rain.
No, and that's
Like they're actually handled pretty good.
right. And that's the thing is like, people, oh, that's gonna be terrible. I'm like, well, it's not great, but if you're actually doing the speed limit and you're aware of the surfaces changes in the road and stuff, and any standing water, it's not bad at all. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're flying along, you're gonna have trouble. If you're pushing it, you know, trying to get some lateral grip, you'll have trouble. But if you're just
Going A to B, be fine.
yeah, and I mean, I've driven it multiple times in the rain, and I don't think it's the death sentence that everybody seems to make it out to be.
Yeah.
But I'm also careful with it, so.
Is that your scanner?
Just the radar detector.
Feels good.
I'm still, like I said, getting used to where the traction edge is on different road surfaces and different temperatures. But you have speed-based boost now?
No, I don't have anything hooked up. It's just like raw.
That helps a lot because it rolls it in, so you don't have more power than you can handle. And if you do have more power, you can just turn it down a little bit. Then you'll find that line. So as it goes, you'll have the right speed. This is my rolling anti-lag.
Oh yeah, you can definitely feel that. Yeah, when you went into fourth gear, you could tell it was adding more boost. You can feel it, yeah.
It ramps it in, like.
Yo, that was like weird. It was like fourth gear pulled harder than third.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I have to send Lawrence logs because it might be turned down now from what it can. But again, I haven't turned it up to like 9, and I want to get used to it before I do that, so I understand how it's going to dole the power out. Because as you know from your impromptu lane changes, you kind of want to know when it's going to break traction.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, this feels good.
That's the thing.
I would assume this has to be at least what, at minimum like in the 8s right now.
I don't know. I've never drag raced it, not one time.
Well, I'm saying far as power, like on map 6 maybe.
Oh no, it's over that. Yeah, probably 8s. Yeah. So all the way up, it's 1025 wheel. So, and again, that's ramped in with speed, so
yeah,
hopefully it's just that, like in your top speed or 5th gear or whatever, you are just pulling much harder than running out of steam, is how I kind of think about it. But like down low, it doesn't matter if I have what I had before power wise or what I have now, it's not going to pour out any more power than I can actually handle. But I do feel like it carries itself through the red line much harder than it used to.
It definitely freight trains.
It feels like it.
Instead of it like as you're going faster, you feeling like power falls off, it like actually pulls harder.
Yeah. That's the thing, like against like V8 guys, that's what I kind of notice when you're really cooking, and then I just start pulling away. Usually, like we might be really even, and then I just start pulling away, and I think that's what happens is the turbo just keeps on adding, whereas the supercharger usually is what they're running. When it runs out of steam. I also have a little bit of boost creep, which in those situations
helps.
Yeah. It's not bad, but it's not good either. So,
man, this thing feels really good.
I wanted it kind of, like I said, quiet-ish. You know, like I can drive somewhere and not hate myself when I get there.
Dude, this thing pulls crazy. This makes me miss my SC so bad.
I know. I think it might motivate you a little bit. Like, hey, let's get that thing going.
Oh my god, I miss my JZ so bad.
mean, V8 is amazing too. That's the thing. Like, they're both amazing. But when you're winding them out, I feel like this is more interesting.
Yeah, this ref's like $8 grand. Like, it clears the whole tack on here.
Yeah, that's actually, right now, that's set low because of my old turbo. It actually literally ran out of steam. So if I went up to the red line, I'd be,
like past that 7K.
Yeah, I was actually losing power, so it wasn't advantageous. This thing can handle 9 apparently, but I've never run it that high, and yet I think that the cut was like 84, 8300, and I was at shift sector and I was doing like 175, 176, 174, and I'm like, well, I guess that's it. And I just thought, you know,
I mean, short shifted.
Yeah, I'll just short shift it. Bam, 181. Like, just from that, because I had been losing speed
by carrying the RPM
past the peak.
Yeah.
Every gear I was losing speed past the peak. So literally by quote slowing down, I sped up, you know, 6 miles an hour.
And that's the thing people understand. It's like, even if you have a high red line, it doesn't matter. Like, you want to shift to where you're in that power band where it makes the most torque at.
Well, and also, like, if you go to the track, it's also, you want to shift and be in the gear where you can utilize the maximum amount of engine performance without shifting, because every shift is a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So you might find yourself in a lower gear that seems a little laggy, but because of the way the straight is between two corners, you actually maximize your speed, and also you're not upsetting the car. When you shift, the car is like suddenly in sort of a limbo, and you don't always want that. You want to have a smooth is sometimes much better than like having it at this peaky power situation.
This thing feels really good, man.
It's still, I've got 2 more of these buckets to put in the back seat. So it'll be 4 race buckets, and I just haven't taken the time to get them installed yet. And maybe a little bit more interior work, but overall it's what I wanted, and it's where it's at, where I wanted it to be. As far as driving, it's like perfect. Air conditioners.
Well, you know, Lawrence is coming out here next month, so I hit him up to get my SC on the dyno. So now I'm gonna push my painter to get the car back together, so I can at least get it tuned.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even if it's a primer or whatever, if you get it tuned, then you're good to go once it's painted.
Yeah, yeah. This is like motivation. Woo! Hell yeah! It's been like cool having like the, you know, the vets and all LS stuff, but it's like when you're constantly like driving in those cars, it's like you forget like what a 2J feels like. Then you're like, like nobody really has high horsepower 2Js for you just like jump in.
But when you're like looking at it and around it and starting it, LSs sound so good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for an 800 horsepower goal or something, under 9, like a LS3 low in the blocks, like perfect. I
always think that a good goal is actually 750, because a weird part about having a super high horsepower car, I shouldn't say super, because there's a lot more now, but when you're over 1,000 or around 1,000, there's hardly any people that have those cars that are still running. So like if you want to hang with people that have that kind of power, your numbers are pretty low. You want something in the 700-800 range. There's lots of guys out there that are running that. So it's actually more social to have that kind of power, and LSs are good for that kind of power usually.
Easy. My 350 makes 800 already on stock lower.
That's awesome.
So like that car with a bigger lower should easily probably be almost 900.
I was just out with a friend Saturday night, and he was just warming his tires up. He has a stock ported blower, and I was ahead of him just slightly, and I'm like, where did that guy go, dude? He was right behind me. What happened? And
don't tell me he totaled it.
No, he didn't total it.
Oh shit.
It like blew
the lid off of it,
the top right off the supercharger. Like it cracked it and broke it.
See the edges?
Yep. Jeez.
So the next thing I know, he's just sitting there on the side of the road. He did his warm up, get his tires warmed up, and that was it. Bam.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen to my LSA lid.
I'm just saying, like, he didn't think that was even like really a possibility.
I've never seen it happen before.
He said, "Oh yeah, I've seen a few. You know, on the forums, you hear about this happening a couple times, and you know, it wouldn't happen to me, and
Happened to him.
it's him now. So yeah, it's that's one of the things when you go to those higher boost levels with stock stuff, you're on that ragged edge of."
Yeah.
And it was a cold night, so the air was really, really dense and kind of had it together, and yeah.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he actually has a turbo kit to put on it.
Oh, so he's gonna do turbo now.
Sell that to go towards the turbo.
Yeah.
So now
Well.
he's got the turbo kit coming, and he should have it in by the time Lawrence gets there to get it tuned. But you know, he doesn't have the supercharger now to
Sell it and offset the balance. Yeah, that sucks.
I felt so bad, dude. So bad.
You should. It's probably your fault. He was hanging with you.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, I got you. He's like, and his buddy's like, nah, he's been trying to get out for a while. It just happened to be you. I'm like, yeah, I know. But I just feel bad on the guy who was, there. And it's always weird when you're the guy's car is running and somebody else is dead.
Break.
It's
Yeah.
like,
He's like, I gotta sit on the side with you until
Yeah.
something we get picked up at least.
yeah. So I sat around. The tow truck guy was coming, and I was working out fine. But it's just like, what a way to end your, kind of what was going to be a fun evening is sitting on the side of the road with a broken car.
I've been there plenty of times.
Exactly.
I know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly.